So this is the Nova coder. Basically, it's the old coder, and I actually put it through the coder, so the coder created the new coder. But it was a lot of code, and it didn't do it 100%, but it did produce the graphics. All the buttons and everything you see there is its own imagine style and creativity mode. So it created that, and it's for itself really. But I can't tell a lie. It didn't just work first time or anything like that. I I took that part. It didn't do the whole thing. It did the graphics part, and then I took that and I got Claude to rewrite it, to do the wiring, to wire everything together, which took about another 5 minutes. It took a fair bit of time actually. He came up with this. It's a much nicer display, I think you'd agree, than before. So anyway, let's do something with it. Find the news headlines from the United Kingdom and display them graphically. Hopefully it'll get the recent news headlines. It does know the date. So I'm going to do the Imagine one, so it's going to be Flash. We'll soon find out whether it does the real news. If you're not careful with these searches and the models, it's not a good model. You can end up just does simulated weather or something like that, or news. So it says this is because it's imaginative. Imagine a dark cinematic dashboard bathed in deep midnight navy. It says at the end, the entire interface breathes with a living weather. Oh, here it goes. It is quite nice. So when I touch these things, again, this creative mode, Yvette Cooper responds to US President's comments. I can't see them that well, and it's a little bit off to the side. England cricket team, NHS National Health Service. So it doesn't, it's a good idea doing stuff again. If I close it, it'll probably do it a second time. Well, it should do it a second time. Notice the other effect it's got here, this thing running around when it's active. There we go, a second go. So that's a bit better this time. I can read it this time. Similar idea, but instead of whatever they were, hexagonal things, they're squares. They look like different news items as well, which is interesting. UK aircraft carrier prepares for the Middle East development. Chelsea FC sign record breaking. So this is the real news. Heavy rain and winds batter Scotland. Well, that could be any time of the year, I suppose. So let's try this one. Find some animal, it should be free animal, WAV audio files from soundbible.com and play them. It says free public domain. Not sure what that was. There's a cat coming up. Find pictures of Auckland City, New Zealand, and use it to make a web page to run locally. And it's not worth doing the creative side. I'm just going to do a straight web page. Hopefully I can fit it in. Here we go, it's coming. Oh, nice. You're not seeing it all, of course, because I haven't got the, it's a bit difficult to show it all. But it's pretty good. Let's see if I can make it smaller. we go. There's a photo gallery. And there it is. Very good. That's not the creative side. That's just click on it and it appears. I didn't really give it much description, did I? But that's a web page in about 3 minutes of sorts. There isn't much information, of course, but skeleton of it is there. I'll just do a simple prompt. Play Jingle Bells and put a graphics display up. So I'm just going to do Imagine, so that's going to take me into an imaginative prompt. With a Nova here, you can see we're on the cloud here. Anthropotic Claude Sonnet 4.6. It's incredible. So this is imaginative code or creative code. I just put in create a collage, find pictures of Auckland and create a collage. Then I clicked Imagine and it's got a huge, created this amazing prompt. Program opens with a deep charcoal background. It immediately feels cinematic and metropolitan. It's quite big and it's very interesting, and it doesn't disappoint because this is what it gives out. I've not done the collage before. Found these pictures itself. I didn't pick them. And look what happens when I can change the opacity. Yeah, and this is interesting. You can rotate it. Never seen that before. How about that? So this one is the animation of the Fourier transform of a pulse, where the pulse width and height can be varied, and the Fourier transform seen in real time. I'm going to do Imagine for this one to make a creative output. Let's see what that does. So we'll create another prompt in a minute, and that new prompt will go back in again effectively.
Creative Vision, Fourier Pulse Explorer, Creative Breathe the Dark, Observatory Inspired Interface, Bathed in Deep Charcoal, 10102E, and Midnight Navy, 16213E. Renders two side-by-side panels separated by a luminous dividing line that pulses softly in electric indigo. 7B27, like a heartbeat between the time domain and frequency domain worlds. The left panel displays the rectangular pulse as a solid, glowing neon cyan. 0F5, trap, now coding it. Starting up. Reading your request.
So this will take a wee bit of time because it's a huge prompt. Let's see what the Nova Coder can do. Seems it's got faint scan lines, texture, 4% opacity. That honors the history of signal processing. To teach this, so it hasn't got the amplitude, also got the amplitude, yeah. And as this goes narrower, it gets wider. As the pulse gets narrower, they're inversely proportional. As the pulse gets wider, the Fourier transform, the frequency domain gets narrower till it gets like an impulse. And I can change the amplitude. That just changes the amplitude, so a little bit. Yeah, there it goes. So this will make a huge difference. And you could do a triangular pulse as well. Rect, T up and tau is how the sort of shorthand way of representing this waveform. So it means if you've got a very narrow pulse, then you get a very wide spectrum. In other words, it interferes with a lot of things the narrower the pulses are. That's why in cars in the old days, when you had sparks, if you had some spark plugs and they weren't suppressed, they would interfere with the radio.